Hello, hello, hello. I hope someone is out there. So if you recall, today is Monday, and that means that it is the start of our stitch along, and I have exciting things to report in the form of the star map kits, which have arrived. So they came, I don't know, what time is it? They came like an hour and a half ago. So these guys in stock. I have one left. If you did not get this kit, I have one in my possession that I can ship back out. The others are all spoken for. So I only ordered 8, but if I have to order more, I'm happy to do so because I love this kit. Like, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. I can't wait to stitch it with everybody. And like, I haven't prepped anything because I was trying to get things shipped and like packed. And I ordered a few extra things because, I mean, how could I not order a few extra things? I mean, come on. And yes, Tamara, yours was one of the first boxes that I packed because you had extra stuff. Oh, and look, Marshmallow wants to join us. Yeah. Okay, fine. You can sit on my lap for a little bit, but then you gotta go. Anyway, I ordered just a smidgen, tiny bit of extra stuff. So like I got a Tabby Cat doll kit, super cute. These little doll kits, these are $20, super cute. I also got the kangaroo, and if you look on the back here, it's Kanga and like a tiny roo. He's so cute. And then I got the lion, cute little lion kit, and then I also got the barn owl. My friend Lauren kind of wants this one, but I could order more. So super cute little barn owl kit. So all of those are $20. And then I really want to make one of these with Ina. So maybe we'll do like a live with this in November or something where we make the super cute little ornament. This is the snowflake one. These are 16 a piece if you want them. I did order one extra just in case somebody else wanted it because I thought it was so cute. I can't wait. She has new ones coming out too, so I'm very excited about that. And then if you don't yet have a needle minder, really recommend a needle minder. These guys are so nice. I ordered 2 little cacti, so cute. And apparently we already had a couple of unicorns, but I ordered more unicorns because I was like, oh my gosh, the unicorn is so cute. I must get more unicorns. So yeah, like, help me out guys and go order a unicorn one because I bought more. Anyway, don't tell Tina. Tina, don't watch this video. I'm just telling you, like, you know nothing. Okay. Yeah, so some unicorn needle minders. And I honestly, I really love having my needle minder on my work. It's so nice to be able to park my needle, not have it slip out of the fabric. I know it's stuck to that needle minder because it's magnetic. And I don't worry about my stitching as much with Ina around. So I'm telling you, like, needle minders, these are awesome. These are awesome. We also have a couple of llamas. I don't have those with me today. They're out at the Hillsborough shop, but we have a couple of llamas, a couple of unicorns, and a couple of really cute little cacti. And those are 10. So very affordable, and you'll use them a ton. Now, in addition to that, I also ordered some of these guys. These are the micro threaders. I think I have some classics coming as well. They also have tapestry versions, but they're a solid threader, and I've used these a lot with my Mediterranean knotted lace. I actually really, really love them. So I only ordered a couple of the bunny and the flower. There's also a bear, and there's a cattail in my face. Marshmallow, you're not being very helpful right now, honey. Anyway, so if you're planning on doing a lot of stitching, or, I mean, honestly, Mediterranean knotted lace, anything where you're using a needle and you think that you're going to, you know, be threading it a lot, I'm telling you, those suckers work really well. And I can show you how they work if you want. And then in addition, we did order just a few extra of these little guides in. It's the handy pocket guide for embroidery stitching. And this, because it's small, I really love slipping this in my bag. And then if I encounter a stitch that I vaguely remember how to make, but maybe I should brush up on it, I've got a handy dandy little guide. And these are very inexpensive. I think they're like $8. They're not super expensive little books. Totally worth the $8. I'm just throwing that out there. So I know that sounded a little bit like a product placement at the beginning, but we have, like, I got so much fun stuff in. I just had to share it all with you. So most of it is up on the website. There's a little bit that I still have to get up. Like I don't have these up yet, I don't think. But those will go up as soon as I can. And then in addition to that, I love these little super snips. I can't remember if we have them on the website, but I love these little guys. They are super useful, tiny little scissors, and they're just awesome because they have the attached little scissor keeper. That's not the right word. Scissor sleeve. That's not the right word either. Somebody help me out. What is this thing? The cap? I don't remember. Oh my gosh, the cat is like really wanting to get in my lap today. This is Marshmallow, everybody. He's like really, really into my lap. And then if you guys haven't seen them yet, we do have these super cute little snails. I actually had to hide this one from Ina because her favorite color is pink. So we have super cute little snails. These are a tape measure. Yeah, you pull the head and then it's the tape measure. It's so cute. And there's a little button on the shell. Anyway, so we have these for sale as well. I need to get some of those up on our website. We've had them over at Slow Crawl, but it's time to put them on Black Sheep too. So, oh my gosh, all the fun stuff I wanted to show you. Okay, let me eject the cat again. Shoo, Marshmallow. I love you, but shoo. Let's see, what else do I need to talk about? So today we are, of course, going to get started with the stitch along. I promise you I am going to do my utmost to get all of those pre-ordered kits out today or tomorrow. I've already started packing them, and I'll drop some off when I run into town tonight. And then I'll try to get the rest packed either tonight or tomorrow, and Ina and I will go take a trip and drop the rest of them off. It is, of course, Year of Self-Care still, and it is September, which is back to school for everyone, so it's learn something new. And that means if you haven't done stitching before, now is a great time to learn about stitching. If you have done stitching before, maybe it's time to learn something new with stitching. So learn a new stitch, learn how to finish differently, learn how to start differently, learn how to put it in the hoop differently. Just, you know, teach yourself something, learn something, or take a class. Classes are awesome. You can totally take a class too. Just kind of, that's what it's about. And then post and tell us what you've been doing. And it doesn't have to be like, if you didn't learn anything, that's all right. Just post and tell me what you got going on in your stitchy life. And we'll put you in the monthly contest. Remember, I do a monthly contest every month. I check all the posts that are tagged Black Sheep Fiber Emporium or BSFE. And mostly Facebook and Instagram, although I do check Twitter. I haven't had any entries on Twitter, but that's okay. Anyway, and I check all the places to see if I have any entries, and then I pull one winner every month, just because we can. So, you know, take a picture whatever you're doing. Like spinning counts, knitting counts, tatting counts, it all counts. Quilting counts, it all counts. Just saying. Anyway, let me get some of this stuff out of the way, and then we will talk about getting started with our stitching. Oh, and one more thing. So I have been working on more Mediterranean knotted lace, and I'm figuring out how to make little beginners kits, and kind of deciding, you know, what should go in them, and you know, what goes in the handouts, things of that nature. Because anytime you create a new class, there's always quite a lot of setup. But anyway, I have been practicing my Mediterranean knotted lace because I brought in new threads. So we are testing out some new threads for tatting and Mediterranean knotted lace and Irish crochet. So if you are interested in any of those things, pop me an email. I did put up some of the Daruma. I only ordered like 3 balls of this. I don't have very much. I ordered 3 balls in each of these. But if you're really curious, I can absolutely put up some listings so you can check out the threads. And I posted on Instagram, maybe not to Facebook, but I at least posted on Instagram about my thoughts on all 3 threads for Mediterranean knotted lace and for tatting. So, and if you missed it last week, my big box from Japan came. These are Japanese clover tatting shuttles, like the Japanese branded in the Japanese packaging. Be still my little tatting heart. Anyway, so like, I'm just telling you, we just got like a whole bunch of new stuff. I have a bunch of pre-order books up. I had a big box that came from Japan. The Kiriki Press stuff came, and I forget, like, I have more books that I'm ordering because we're doing a bunch of pre-orders for a bunch of super fun books that are coming out this fall. And it's just so exciting. Like, it's really hard to contain myself because it's so exciting. So anyway, I just wanted to throw all that out there. If you missed any of that, remember you can watch this again later. You can also check it out on our YouTube channel. If you subscribe to our YouTube channel, you'll actually get notifications every time I post a video. And I do try to post some extra videos that you don't necessarily see on Facebook or Instagram. So anyway, having said all of that, if you are stitching along with me today, we're going to talk about setup, and I am going to tell you what my plan is for stitching the super cute Star Map series. And then we'll talk about, you know, like what's in the kit again, and I'll show you everything. And maybe we can barely get started stitching. So bear with me here. I'm gonna go ahead and unpack the kit first. That way you can see everything again. But the kit has this really nice, this is actually hand screen printed for the box for the kit. And then it comes with a big, beautiful color star map, so you can see what Michelle used in her kit, which is really nice. I love having that. It's like having the front of a puzzle, you know, the puzzle on the front of the puzzle box. It gives me an idea of what I need to be, you know, stitching towards. But it is a little bit big. And what's nice is she went ahead and included a color booklet and stitch guide. So super nice that we have the color stitch guide. Sometimes they don't come in color. This is premium. This is really nice. Now, in addition to that, she also had the large, this is a big one. This is an 11-inch beechwood hoop. It's a very large hoop. We are not going to be stitching in this hoop. This is our hoop that we're going to use to finish the star map if we want to do that. You do not have to use the hoop to finish your star map. You could use the hoop to stitch your star map. But for me, I'm much more comfortable in a smaller hoop. So that's what I'm going to be using, and I'll just be moving my hoop around my work as I go. And part of the reason that I'm going to do that is because I like to have my hoop wrapped on the inside. And the reason that we wrap the hoop on the inside is because we get better tension. So this hoop, this is a beechwood hoop, and I think it's a 5/8 inch. I could be wrong, don't quote me on that. But it's a little bit thicker beechwood hoop, and I have wrapped this with twill tape all the way around, and then, I don't know if you can see this, but on the inside I just sewed my ends kind of together here so that I have a nicely wrapped beechwood hoop so that I can properly tension my lovely pre-printed fabric. So isn't this so pretty? So pretty. I know, I like it. Now she also includes a John James tapestry needle. John James, excellent company, very nice, not tapestry needle, embroidery needle. Very, very nice embroidery needle here. And she has the floss that we need to do it. So everything does come in your kit. All the basics do come in your kit. You could do this kit without really buying anything else, but it is nice to have, you know, a needle minder or perhaps a unicorn needle minder. It's also nice to have the micro needle threader, especially if I have allergies, so my hands get stiff, especially when it's really hot out. My hands get very stiff and I have issues. So sometimes it's just nice to have the needle threaders. It is. And the nice thing about these solid ones is they last. They don't come apart like those little wire ones that you get. So just a thought there. And then, of course, scissors. And again, I love these little super snips. You don't have to have the super snips, but they're really inexpensive and they're very small, so they fit in your bag. And then they've got the little cap. I just really love these little things. It's a silly thing to love, but when you stumble on good tools, you end up buying them and then sharing them with everybody else. So because I am using the little bit smaller hoop, I do need to decide where I want to start stitching. And in looking at, in looking at my star map, let me see, I think I want to start, with Virgo and stitch that one first. So what I will do is I'm going to, and I'll show you how I'm going to do this, but I'm going to just take my fabric kind of partially, I'm not going to center it exactly, I want it a little bit off center in my hoop so that it's easier to see, and then I'll just slide my upper hoop around it. Now I'll show you how to do that after I tested it to make sure it would work. All right, I'm gonna swap the camera angles, so don't freak out. You can freak out a little bit, but don't freak out. Okay. Let's see if I can get this here. Hello. And get this here. All right, look at this. Nice. So nice. I bought a brand new overhead camera arm a few weeks ago. I've used it a couple of times, but this is nice. Okay, so hello, Angelus, and hello, Tamara. It's always good to see you guys on the old live feed here. So this is my bottom hoop. This is my fabric. This is my top hoop. And I'm just going to fit everything together here. Oh, get a little bit of cat fur off of it. And then we do want this to be drum tight. Let me just back out a little bit. We do want this to be drum tight. So that means that we are going to put our pieces together. Oh boy, I got lots of cat hair on this. Nice job, Marshmallow. And then I am going to tighten the screw and then wipe off the cat hair. That is a hazard if you have pets. Kitty hair. I may take that off with some tape later. Anyway. And then I'm just going to very gently and evenly try to pull my fabric. And the goal is not to pull it so tight that you are distorting your fabric, because this is lovely hand screen printed. So this is a hand screen printed, pre-printed piece. And then I'm just going to go ahead and crank that just a little bit more. That's nice tension. So there we go. Nice tension. You don't want it too tight, but you want it tight enough that you get just that little dab of sound when you touch it. And then because I like to have my needle minder, I'm going to use my Sampler Club needle minder. And I may put it over here for the time being. And I've actually put my hoop in kind of like this on purpose. Remember that you can kind of move your hoop around to wherever you need to work. And again, I am working on a smaller hoop because that's what I'm more comfortable with, not the 11-inch hoop that this comes with that is really meant for display. But again, we will be checking out our guidelines. So we have all kinds of fun stuff here, like how to thread your needle. You do not... There's a lot of people that do this. I don't know who taught them this, but for better embroidery, it's not that you can't use this method, but for better, smoother embroidery that looks better when it's finished, you want to make sure that you are not doubling up your thread as you stitch and you haven't tied a knot in the end of it. That's not quite what you want to do. We also have to make sure that we are separating our floss, that we have floss length that is appropriate, and she already tells us it comes pre-cut to 20 inches in length, because if you have too much floss, you get knots, and we don't like knots. We're trying to avoid knots as we stitch on our lovely sampler. And then we don't care about finishing at the moment. And she also has a stitch guide, which is really helpful because as we flip through our color guide, you are going to see that there are different colored lines, different places. So she doesn't necessarily tell you on the photo itself what you're going to be doing, you'll need to be referencing your stitch guide, which if you knit, this should look very similar. You have a knitting chart, and we have to reference our key in order to find out what we're going to be doing. Now, I will be doing all of these stars last. My goal is to stitch all of my outlines first, and then the very last thing that I will do is go in and do all of the stars all over. So, anyway, if we look at Virgo, because this is the one I've decided I'm going to start with, we're going to have backstitch in all of the white areas with 2 strands, and I'm honestly going to do all of my backstitching first because that's a very large area that needs to be done. We're going to use some stem stitch in 1 strand. We'll use some single strand backstitch up in here, and some detached chain stitch here and here, and some single strand straight stitch up in there, and that'll be most of it. That'll be most of Virgo. When we're all finished with her, that's what we're going to be looking at. And this is all in the same color. We'll be doing all of this in white. The only reason that she's used the colors again on these photos is because that way you have a stitch guide, so you know where to stitch with how many strands. So, and you could change it up. You don't have to do exactly what she has done. It is up to you. If you want to use a different stitch, go ahead. It's your sampler, and there's no reason that you can't do that. Okay, now much as I like John James needles, I have some tulip needles that I've been using. We should also talk a little bit, now there are different sizes of embroidery needles. I believe the way it goes is the higher the needle, the higher the number, the skinnier the needle, I should say. And I do have some thicker ones and some thinner ones. That's a thinner one. So, most of the time, now you can get needle sizers. I don't happen to have one here. I should get some needle sizers for the shop. That would be a good thing, wouldn't it? Most of the time, I just try to match it to the fabric and find something that's going to pierce but not leave a huge hole when it goes through. So this one looks pretty good. I'm going to park this one over here. I think these are too thin for my use. That one looks too thick. That one's too thick. Okay, it's one of these guys. I think I like the outside edge one. Now I'm guessing that this is probably a 9. It could be an 8, but I'm guessing this is a 9. Because again, I don't have the needle sizer. So I am going to put away this floss. I won't be using this at all. And I'm just going to take my knot out of my white thread. And let's talk about briefly what we do with our thread. So I've gone ahead and pulled one floss strand. It's a 6-strand floss out of my package. Now the thing is, when you embroider, you do not embroider with all 6 strands at the same time, and even if you were doing that, you wouldn't leave them in the slightly twisted state that they come in. So you'll need to make sure that you pull each strand that you're to be using individually. So individually from your bundle. And I know that we need 2 strands to do that chain stitch outline. Now your extra floss just needs to be set aside. You can go ahead and put a loose knot in it again if you want, just so it's not so untidy. Just a loose knot. I'm not tightening that down. And then I'm just going to tuck it right back in the bag. When I am done today, I'm going to try to get some of the cat hair off of this. Thank you, Marshmallow. But I'm also going to take the pieces that I'm working with and put them all in a zippy bag so that I have everything together when I'm ready to work. So you just sort of line your 2 strands up as much as possible, and then I like to just sort of pull them together. And I do like to use a little dab of beeswax. You don't use a lot. So I kind of go and do the last like 3 inches, and then I'm just very lightly holding my thumb on top of that beeswax so that I'm getting a very light coating of beeswax on my strands. It just helps them to move through your fabric a little bit better. You don't want to over wax your threads though, so do be careful with that. And then see if I can get this. I may not be able to get it threaded, in which case we are going to grab one of those threaders and I will have to show you. Oh yeah, there's no, I can't do it today. My hands are just too swollen. I missed my allergy pill yesterday. Okay, well, I'm going to show you how to do, how to use the micro threader. Now, I probably would be, I might be okay with the classic, but I think the micro threader would be better for this one. So it just comes on this little card. You just peel it off. It has a little dot. You can keep it in that plastic bag, which I tend to do. And then you're just going to take your little hook and you're going to slide it. See if I can do this on camera. Slide it. There we go. Slide it through the eye. Now I probably should have done it with the hook up instead of the hook down. Actually, I'm going to flip it around and... All right, hook up. And I'm just going to grab my floss. And come on, whoop. Okay, I might have to do 1 strand at a time, so I can't see what I'm doing. Okay, don't laugh at me too much, okay? You can laugh at me a little bit though, because this is kind of funny. Try to get this thread hooked down. There we go. There. All right. I gotta adjust this. Make sure that they're about the same length again. There we go. That wasn't too painful now, was it? And the other part of this is I do like to leave a little longer tail. Again, it just helps to prevent knots. So, if I use a threader, do I need the beeswax? Yeah. I definitely like the beeswax because the beeswax is meant for your stitching as you're putting it onto the fabric, not so much for threading it. So yes, I would definitely use the beeswax. And see, I just tucked it back on my little holder. I definitely would use the beeswax, period. You don't have to use beeswax. There are other products out there. I just happen to, I like the smell of beeswax quite a lot. So, you know. Anyway, that's my thing. Now, we know that our outline here, this whole outline, is going to be in our 2-strand chain stitch, because that is, back stitch, sorry, 2-strand back stitch, because that is what our guide says. And again, I always like to just double check. So here I have my little, you know, handy pocket guide for embroidery stitching. And I'm like, back stitch. Now I know what back stitch is. But if I was confused, I would be able to go in here and look for, there is a faster way to do this. I'm just kind of showing you what all's in this book. There we go. Here's closed back stitch. Blanket stitch. Oh, sorry, closed blanket stitch. Chain stitch. It's just all kinds of stitches. It's very, very handy. Very handy. Yeah. Let's see, knotted stitches, outline stitch, couch stitch, stamen stitch, lazy daisy. Let's see, somewhere I think I've skipped back stitch. Let's check up here. Embroidery stitches and materials. Oh, let's see. Again, I know how to back stitch, but all right, that's terrible. I can't find it. I know it's in here. But can I find it? No. Ooh, that's cool. Look at the button spider. I kind of want to make that. Just because it's a button spider. Oh, there we go. Outliner backstitch. Let's see. Oh, no, wait. That's about adding thread. Let's see. I know these are crazy, crazy stitches in here. All right. Well, I know it's in here, but whatever. Anyway, you can use your little book. It's all kinds of fun stuff. Now, the other part of this is that we do want to make sure that we are not putting knots in our work. So I am actually going to use I think it's called an away stitch, where I am going to make a knot in my tail, and I'm going to stitch down from the front side of my work a good distance away from where I want to begin. I'm actually going to begin up here where the wing is. But I'm going to put it way out here because what I want to do is later on I am actually going to cut this knot, and I am going to use my, hopefully my back stitching here to, sorry, I want to be precise, to secure the back side. So this is an away knot right here. It's on the front side. I've got a pretty decent length here. As I stitch, I'll try to stitch over this so that it's locked into place. And then eventually I will snip this off. This is a great way to start a piece so that you don't end up with knots, because again, we don't want knots on our embroidery. So, and this is going to be some really awkward back stitching, so don't laugh at me too much, but you can laugh at me a little bit. So with back stitching, you make a short initial stitch, and then you come up about the same distance away, and then you're going to go back down in the same hole in which you have already stitched, and then we're going to make it makes a long stitch on the back side, and we want to make stitches of about the same length on the front side. So just like this, and again, back down. Oop, that wasn't quite through the same hole. There we go. Back down through the same hole, just like this. And it will make longer stitches on the back here. It'll have short stitches on the front. And that's what we're going to keep doing. Now, I'm going to leave you all, now that I have done this eensy bit of back stitching. Eensy bit of back stitching. Because I do have some things that I have to get done. So anyhow, there we go. Hopefully I'm still in frame. But I'm probably actually going to put this down because I need to go get everyone's kit shipped out, which is really exciting. If you did miss out, remember I do have one more kit in my hot little hands. And I have super fun stuff that I got from Kiriki. I'll try to put up a little bit of a photo collage or something on Facebook, Instagram, so you can see what came in. And when I go to park, that's good enough for me today. When I go to park, I just like to drop my needle right over here. Now I'll be able to sort of gather my fabric. Remember that if you're done stitching, you do want to loosen your hoop so that you don't stretch your fabric out. So if you're done stitching for the day, just loosen your hoop. Again, that way it's not drum tight anymore so that you aren't stretching your fabric. It's very key. And then off you go. So, whoo! Let me flip this back around briefly. And, ooh, well, yeah, that's not very good. Let's see if I can get this off. All right, so I know that was kind of a long video, but I had so much stuff to talk to you about and to show you. Oh yeah, it's definitely been a long video. But anyway, just like tons and tons of fun stuff has come in. We have lots of pre-orders. I'm going to try and get all the pre-orders out that I possibly can. I have to make yet another order to Japan because I ordered these really awesome brand new Pico Combs from Clover, and they're sold out. I didn't even get to try one. They just gone. So I have to order more. And I already have some pre-orders for them. So if you're a tatter and you were looking for the Pico Combs, I'm so sorry. I'll get more. I'll get more, I promise. And I'm ordering some more books, and there's like all kinds of fun stuff. All kinds of fun stuff coming. So I hope that you are joining us for all the fun things that we're doing in the next couple of months. Of course, we've started our Stitch Along. I'm sorry I didn't have your kits out to you before today. But hopefully as soon as your kits come, you'll be able to go back and watch the video if you need a little help and get started. And if you have any questions, of course, you can always pop a message to either Tina or myself. We both embroider, so we can both help you, just so you know. And Kathy, a Pico Comb. I think I have one, just hang on. I have one that I don't think I've shipped just yet. I'm waiting on another piece to the package. Yeah. This is the last one I have at my house at the moment. This is a Pico Comb, and the way that you use it is right here. So as you're tatting, you can make picos of various sizes without having to use a Pico gauge, because you use the comb as your gauge instead. So it allows you to do lots of picos that are the size that you want without distorting your tatting. So like, it's a really cool new tool. It's a great idea, but I did not order enough, so I have to order more. And this one is sitting because I have some other pieces that have to go out with it, so I couldn't ship it yet. Anyway, so lots of fun new stuff. You'll see a lot of stuff on the website that has gone up in the embroidery section in the Sashiko kits. We got some new stuff there, and we got restocks on some old stuff. What else? New thread, new needles. I'm putting up Sashiko needles and Sashiko thread. I have the thread in hand. I'm ordering some needles to go with it because honestly, we should have needles available. And what else? I don't know. And there's books. There's new books coming. So yeah, it's just it's crazy. This is a crazy time of year. So remember, Wednesday, we are talking about Spin Together, and I'm talking about fiber prep and possibly maintenance for your e-spinner. If I have time, I may not. So that's on the agenda for Wednesday. Next week, we're going to be back at the Stitch Along on Monday, talking about Spin Together again. Wednesday, I know it feels like we've been talking about it forever, but we really haven't. It's just that we have to get prepped so that we can spin together. So if you haven't joined a team yet, we'd love to have you at Black Sheep Voyagers. We're a small group right now. I think I have like 5 or 6 spinners. But it'll be lots of fun, and we are not a production team. We just want to have fun. So I'm actually traveling during the first part of Spin Together, and I'm going to do my darndest to pack my wheel up, take it with me, and spin as much as I can while I am gone, and then spin as much as I can when I get back too. But you have until September 30th, I think, is the last day to sign up. So if you haven't done that, check out spintogether.org. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button at YouTube, to hit the like button if you're on Facebook. Make sure you follow us on the Instagram channel because we post stuff everywhere. I've been really bad about TikTok lately, but I definitely need to put more stuff up on TikTok again, especially with the stitching that I'll be doing and the Mediterranean knotted lace, because it's super fun and I want to share it. So anyway, Spin Together is coming up. We're doing a Stitch Along. There's a ton of new stuff on the website and tons of new pre-order things and new books coming out. Really awesome Icelandic mittens book that looks fabulous. There's a brand new Spinning 101 book if you're just getting into spinning or you need some more help. Might be the thing to check out. So anyway, make sure that you are getting those pre-orders in so I know that I get enough books, and that way you don't have to sit and wait for a book later. So anyway, I will see you all Wednesday. Until then, as I always say, please take care of yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, and craftually. Please do a little bit of crafting every day. I know I did a little bit of knitting. Now I've done a little bit of stitching, and it definitely helps my mental health personally when I can craft just a little bit every day. Even if it's just 10 or 15 minutes, it makes me feel so much better. So I hope you're taking care of yourselves, and until Wednesday, I'll see you then. Bye.